Russia is all set to defeat the West's sanctions with the help of a plan that Vladimir Putin has been working on for months. That's right, Moscow has been preparing for a Western backed price cap on its oil for quite some time now. The United States, G7, European Union, and NATO, they all thought they had Vladimir Putin by the neck this time. However, Russia's grand plan of bypassing Western sanctions and the oil price cap has now been revealed. Now, the G7 and EU nations can really do nothing to prevent Russia from selling oil around the world at a price it deems fit. Hello and welcome. This is Sanbir Singh Ranhotra and you're watching Firstpost. Call it what you may, a shadow fleet, a secret fleet, an old and aging fleet. Russia has got it and Putin will use this shadow fleet to ferry oil around the world. Russia will not be using oil tankers and ships dependent on Western insurance firms. And since G7 and EU's entire price cap mechanism rests on the presumption of Russia using only Western ships and tankers, the price cap has already fallen flat on its face. Russia has assembled a shadow fleet of more than 100 oil tankers in a bid to bust Western sanctions. Moscow has amassed this fleet of aging tankers quietly. According to the Financial Times, Russia has added more than 100 ships this year through direct or indirect purchases. What's Putin's game here, you'd think? Well, he's going to use these ships to openly flout the oil price cap mechanism. The vessels are generally 12 to 15 years old and would be expected to be scrapped in the next few years. But that doesn't mean Russia cannot use them now while also figuring out a long-term plan to go around the sanctions, if they remain in place for years, that is. Russia had a vulnerability. A majority of its oil exports depended on foreign ships, mostly insured and reinsured in Europe or by companies based out of G7 nations. This is what the West chose to weaponize. According to the price cap mechanism, ships insured by Western companies are free to carry Russian oil as long as they do so below or at the price cap set by EU and G7 nations. If Russia continued using these ships to transport oil, it would have to comply with the price cap. However, Russia has assembled a shadow fleet of oil tankers that can navigate the Baltic Sea and perhaps even the Arctic coast, because then Putin can sell Russian oil at any price he deems fit. Russia's focus right now is getting oil to big buyers like China, India, and Turkey. China and India have been exempted from the price cap by the West. But that exemption came under the impression that any oil transaction outside the price cap mechanism would cost these buyers a lot more, making the purchase unfeasible. Given how Russia has been able to secure its own fleet of oil tankers, buyers no longer need to worry about an escalation in costs if they buy crude from Moscow above the price cap. Busting the price cap wide open isn't the only blow Russia has delivered to the West. Russia has also got OPEC Plus's backing. The powerful oil cartel has refused to reverse its decision of cutting daily oil production by 2 million barrels. So, the West is not going to get any relief on that front from OPEC+. Separately, Vladimir Putin could slash Russia's own daily oil production to drive up global crude prices. Russia is not yet subject to the OPEC-wide oil output cut. So, Russia cutting down production would mean a lot more than 2% of global crude output going missing from the market. That will drive prices up, inflating Russia's export revenues even if its export volumes fall. Do you think the West has trapped itself once again? Let us know in the comments.